Hello, everybody. This is UFC Wildcat,
And I'm Powder Blue Bolts.
and this is our fourth.
I think it's our fifth.
Our fifth. We're gonna say fifth. We're gonna go with that. This is our fifth episode in our Bowl Special series, and this week we're gonna be covering the RNL Carriers New Orleans Bowl between East Carolina and Louisiana Lafayette.
And again, this is going to be a battle of offense. As you can probably predict, these two teams don't play a lot of defense. While,
not
yes,
at all.
their defenses are on the field, it seems that at times they are not. But
And they're left at home, even though Louisiana Lafayette's basically playing a home game with it being in New Orleans
at the Superdome.
at the Superdome. That is exactly where it's
We
at.
are going to highlight some key offensive players for both teams. And starting out with the Raging Cajuns of Louisiana Lafayette, we have their dual threat, all in one package, dual purpose, Terrence Broadway, their quarterback. This guy, he can hurt you in every single way. He'll throw all over you, he'll run all over you, and he's not afraid to take one on downfield when he doesn't see receivers open.
Yeah, he looks really good. I mean, I'm looking at the stats here. He's got about 2,500 yards passing, but he's also got 661 rushing, and he's totaling up 24 touchdowns on the season. So it looks like this offense is really driven by him.
Yeah, once this offense gets clicking, it's kind of hard to stop because you got Terrence Broadway who can throw down the field, run down the field, but you also have Alonzo Harris, their running back, and he just kind of complements Broadway in a way that he kind of lacks a little bit of speed, but he can bull you over, and he's not afraid to do that. And they also have a pretty decent receiving core. A lot of guys get the ball, so they kind of spread the wealth there, so you never know exactly who he's going to throw to.
Yeah, it's really good. I'm trying to remember. They were in this bowl last year, weren't they?
They sure were.
They
Against
played
San Diego State.
Yeah, San Diego State. That's who they played against. And who was the quarterback? It was I'm looking at here. I've read here, and he was actually the starter during the season. He was actually the MVP of that bowl. And man, if I can only pronounce his game, it's like we looked it up. It's spelled Gautier. You'd guess something. It's like Gaucher or something.
Gaucher, I think so. It's like a French-sounding name.
Some French name. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, it looks like he was doing really well when he was playing. He had 524 yards passing and 5 touchdowns on the year, no picks. But he got hurt earlier in the year, and that's when Terrence Broadway had to come in. Yeah, so, I mean, hey, the dual threat's actually doing well and helping drive the offense. But now I think we should highlight on some ECU guys. And one of their big players for their team is going to be Shane Carden. This kid is really good. He's almost got 3,000 yards on the year. He's got 21 touchdowns and only 9 picks. And, man, this guy, he's a gunslinger. He's really good, and his main target's going to be Justin Hardy. This kid's got 1,000 yards on the season, and this kid, it's scary. These two together, their next leading receiver only has, like, 350 yards. So, I mean, the offense drives between these two. 10 touchdowns for Hardy, but they have a running game too, which is really surprising. I mean, it's not that good, but I mean, they've got a 1,000-yard rusher in Vintavious Cooper. You want to tell us a little about him?
Yeah, the thing about Vintavious Cooper is he kind of complements the high-octane passing attack that is the ECU Pirates in Shane Carden and Justin Hardy. But when they're not throwing the ball, they're handing it off to Vintavious Cooper, and he's got 1,000 yards on the season and about 5.5 yards per carry. The thing about ECU is they're one of the few teams that still runs the pro style in the college game, and they run it actually pretty well down there in East Carolina. So look out for Vintavious Cooper on the ground.
Alrighty, that's good. What are some keys to the game? I mean, I want to know what's going to drive these teams because, it looks like another offensive game, and if it's anything like the Arizona-Nevada game, which was a 49-48 shootout, which was very great to watch, probably one of the top bowl games. I mean, hopefully get one here in the New Orleans Bowl. It was exciting last year.
I will tell you one thing. During this bowl, there will not be a lack of points. The key for East Carolina is going to be one thing, stopping Terrence Broadway. If you can shut him down, the Raging Cajuns have a very, very slim chance to win. He is their main guy, and if you can just shut him down, especially running the ball, because if you let him get in the open field, it's almost game over at that point.
Man, I'm looking at these. I saw a few highlights, and man, Terrence Broadway, he had a 77-yard rushing touchdown. Man, that's going to be scary. That dual threat, you got to beware of him. The thing about East Carolina, it's being balanced. It's keeping the lackluster defense of Louisiana Lafayette on their toes. Shane Carden, he's got to be really well. He's got to find that Justin Hardy, and maybe somebody else has got to step up because, they had a few games. You look at their record, they're 7-1 in conference, and you're like, oh, that's really good. But they got hammered by UCF 40-20, and they didn't really play anybody else after that. So, I can't really gauge how good this team is, where Louisiana Lafayette, they were leading in Gainesville against Florida.
The number 7 Florida Gators.
Oh, man, that's scary. And they lost because of a blocked punt. That's a lot of pressure just getting to a young team. But, this team's come back and had some big wins in the past, especially in last year's New Orleans Bowl. So, you don't know. What are your predictions for the game?
Like I said, I predict that ECU is going to have a tough time stopping Terrence Broadway. And that's the thing that Louisiana Lafayette has to do to win the game. That's going to be their key to win the game. Is if Terrence Broadway has a good game, then they have a very high chance of winning. And both their defenses really struggle at times against the pass. So there's going to be a lot of points down there in New Orleans. So I'm going to predict Louisiana Lafayette's going to win this one. I'm going to predict 48-35.
High-scoring affair. Man, I'm hoping I see that. I haven't been able to sit down and watch too many bowls, but there's going to be some good ones coming out, and I'm just stoked. Cannot wait. This game's going to be really good. The thing that really excites me, though, is Louisiana Lafayette's defense just a little bit better. Just a little bit than ECU. And maybe it'll come out. Maybe they'll do something. Again, a block punt was needed for Florida to beat them 27-20. So maybe, maybe this team, get some of that magic back, and maybe they shut down Carton. But it's going to be a really close game. I think the final score is going to be 35-32, the Ragin' Cajun. Crazy game.
All right, that's going to be all for the New Orleans Bowl. Be sure to leave us a like, comment, subscribe, and leave a comment deciding what you would think is going to happen during this bowl. Maybe a score prediction and some highlights that you're going to think are going to be there.
Yeah, I don't like hounding people for that because, I don't want to seem like a pest, but we could really use it. The more likes we get, the more subscriptions, it'll help us get out there, help people know us. So, I'd really appreciate it, and I think Powder Blue Bolts would too.
Just takes a couple seconds, and it really, really does help us.
It really does help us. Thank you so much. This is UFC Wildcat and Powder Blue Bolts. Tune in next time when we talk about the Mako Las Vegas Bowl between the Washington Huskies and the 19th-ranked Boise State Broncos. UFC Wildcat and Powder Blue Bolts signing out.